appeared in numerous films, including Tommy Boy and Cocoon. Last week, he won a Tony Award for his performance in Death of a Salesman, which is currently on Broadway. Very cool to have him here with us tonight. Please welcome Brian Dennehy. Thank you for coming.
Nice to be here.
Congratulations, first of all, a Tony, Death of a Salesman. That's a very cool thing. You gotta
be... Yeah, I just wish they got my name right on it. Lawrence Fishburne announced it, and they had this thing set up where they have the nominees on one side. You break the seal and open it, and the name of the winner. So, take a look.
Okay. Do you open it up and...
No, take a look at the nominees first.
Okay, the nominees. All right, look at this. Nominees right here. Let me look right there, and, oh, that's nice.
It
Brain...
No, I thought that was a mistake, right? Then you open it up.
Then you open it up, and look, the winner is... Not for his brawn, but his brain, Dennehy. What the hell?
But as they say, all glory is fleeting. Right? So,
you just got to grab onto it and be happy.
I saw Vivino a couple of nights ago at Chicago Blues.
You saw Jimmy Vivino?
Yeah.
Right here?
Yeah, what, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that?
Was he playing that queer guitar? Or
Actually, he was face down in the sawdust when I saw him. But, I heard he sounded pretty good earlier that evening.
Ah, that's nice. That's great.
You, huh?
Yeah. Is this, you know what's amazing? Death of a Salesman is, everyone knows, a very intense role. It's got to be very tough on you physically, night after night, to do this.
Well, that's already put me in the hospital once. I woke up 3 o'clock in the morning after a Saturday, 2 shows on Saturday, and I couldn't catch my breath. You know, I knew something was wrong. So like a good Irish Catholic boy, I took a bath and changed my underwear. Went downstairs and took a cab to the St. Clair's Hospital. My cab driver, of course, was from Mars, so he had no idea where we were going. So I walked the last 3 or 4 blocks. It turns out that I was suffering from acute hypertension, high blood pressure, and they slapped me into the emergency. And a few hours later, everything was pretty much back to normal. But they wanted to transfer me to St. Vincent's Hospital, which has a cardiac care unit. And so they moved me onto a gurney, and there were 3 cops and a couple of paramedics and everything. They were wonderful people. Slid me out to the ambulance, into the ambulance, and we pull away, which was fine. They were going downtown to St. Vincent's, but there was an ambulance following us. And I said, what? Okay, we're in this ambulance. There's a couple of guys sitting there with me. Why is the ambulance following us? He said, well, that's for the guys who are going to lift you out of this ambulance and put you... So I'm not making this up. This is the truth, okay? 2 ambulances, 6 cops, no waiting. But, and when we got there, I said, oh, boy, I'm really going to have to do something about my weight. This is ridiculous. 2 ambulances, but...
Are you think, is there a play you're thinking of? You've had so much success with this. You want to do a play after this?
Yeah, I want to do Peter Pan. They got the rig all set for me up there, and when I got to fly, baby, I got to fly. Let me tell you. And everybody better get the hell out of the way, too.
You were, of course, I've heard you interviewed several times. You did so many things when you were a struggling actor. You were a bartender in New York for a while.
I was a bartender at a little place called the Crock of Gold on 2nd Avenue and 89th Street, right across from Elaine's right now, in fact. Yeah, that was an interesting job. One night, we had a lot of cops and firemen. A lot of cops and firemen retired now will remember this place, but it was 2 in the morning, 2:30. Billy, this cop, he was overserved, that's how we say, and he wanted more. He said, give me another martini. I said, Billy, you've had enough. Come on, wrap it up, go home. I turn away and I hear the unmistakable sound of a revolver being cocked. I turn back, and there's the biggest barrel I ever saw pointed right between my eyes. The only time I ever made a drink without actually looking at the glass or the bottle. And he had his drink. And,
yeah.
But by that time, a couple of other cops showed up and escorted him home. So
Do you think he does that in every aspect of his life? Things aren't going as quickly as he wants?
This was 30-something years ago, so things were a little different in town in those days. But
right.
but he, I suspect that he pretty much gets what he wants out of life. You know?
I would think so. Carrying a gun gets you respect, yeah. You yourself don't hang out in bars anymore. You don't?
No, I quit drinking for good reasons, and it got to the point where I said to myself, you know, it's kind of ridiculous. You get to a certain age, and you become, instead of being cool, you just become an old drunk. So I quit doing that.
Right. Was there a moment where you said, like, okay, this has got to stop? I put my pants on backwards. Speaking a foreign tongue.
Probably when the night in Kingston Mines. Now, Jimmy probably knows about Kingston Mines in Chicago.
That's great. We've established Jimmy as a terrible drunk now.
No, it's a blues bar. It's a whole different thing. It's a blues bar. They play blues in Chicago. Great place. And for some reason, I don't know, another patron took umbrage at what I said and hit me in the head with a beer mug. I can't imagine why. And as I was going down, I was about 45 at the time, and into the sawdust with the blood, I said to myself, I think it's time to stop doing this. And so I stopped hanging out in Kingston Mines anyway.
Well, I would think, because I know you have a place in Ireland, right?
Yeah.
Where you hang out there. In Ireland, I've been there several times. It is, and there's the old cliche about the Irish and drinking, which has no basis in reality, frankly.
Absolutely not.
There is woven into the fabric of their society that you drink and that you hang out. Have you noticed that yourself? That you just, they want to buy you a drink, they buy you a drink.
They had a wonderful article in the Irish Times about suddenly, all of a sudden, even Ireland is becoming health conscious. And they had an article in the Irish Times suggesting that if Irishmen really wanted to start getting healthy, they would start cutting back on their drinking to around 35 or 40 pints a week. I'm not kidding. That's the truth.
That is not going to wash with those people.
No.
No, I was over there, and they were saying, you know, talking to people, and I'd say, how many pints do you have? Well, I have 65 pints or so. I got it under control. And they do. They can handle it, I guess.
The story is, are you a problem drinker? I said, I don't have any problem getting it at all. I get it every night. But I have a friend of mine who used to be a drinker. He's not anymore. But he would stand. Now, a pint is either 15, 16 ounces in Ireland. And he would have 10 pints and never go to the bathroom. That was the most amazing thing. I used to watch him stand at the pub. They all stand. They don't sit. And never go to the bathroom. I mean, the physics involved are very confusing to me.
We are a very talented people.
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Well, you know, he might have been going the whole time.
Yeah, I was thinking. Why he's taking care of it. Before you go, I want to mention, I saw, you did a TV movie a number of years ago, the John Wayne Gacy movie, and that's one of my favorite TV movies. I thought you did a great job with that role. I'm curious, whenever an actor portrays a serial killer, he's, of course, not with us now, but he was alive at the time. A lot of times they try and contact you. Did he try and contact you?
I got a letter from him. In fact, my lawyer has the letter, and he was funny. He said, I don't know. He said, I can't imagine why you would participate in this fraud. He said, all right, there were 33 bodies buried in my basement of my house, but lots of people had access to that cellar.
God. Those pranksters always putting a body in there.
Serial killers getting together down at the bus station saying, look, if you got a body, I know a good place to bury it.
Gacy has this amazing
He was
basement.
a beauty, yeah. He was something special, Mr. Gacy was.
Well, if anyone out there has not seen Death of a Salesman, it's at the Eugene O'Neill Theater in New York City, and that is definitely something to be proud of. Thank you very much for coming here. Nice talking to you. Brian Dennehy, everybody. James McDaniel coming up in just a bit. We'll be right back.